what is going on YouTube? It is your boy Tropical NHL back at it again for a brand new YouTube video. So today we're here for our second episode of Habs tier list. You guys really smashed the first episode. We got over 200 likes, over 8k views. So I was really happy for the support. So as long as you guys want to see those type of videos, I'm gonna go and continue on posting them. So if you want a third episode of Habs tier list, give me your ideas for another Habs tier list in the comments below. And if we hit 150 likes, I'm gonna do a part 3. So today we're back at it again with the second episode, like I said, and today we're gonna be ranking Habs rookies. Because the Montreal Canadiens this year have used a lot of rookies in their team. Probably the team that used the most rookies in recent NHL history. So we're going to be ranking them in a tier list. And I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see how they rank. So yeah, let's get right into the tier list. As you guys can see, there is the tier list. We have all the young guys over here. We have Ylönen, Justin Barron, Juraj Slafkovský, Rafael Harvey-Pinard, Arber, Xhekaj, Kaiden, Guhle, Jonathan Kovacevic, Jordan Harris, and Arber, Xhekaj again. I don't know why I had a 2 picture of Arber, Xhekaj, but now I don't know how to remove it, so we're gonna be using it like this. If you want to do the tier list, I'll leave the link to do it in the description down below and in the pinned comment. If you want to send me your tier list on Twitter, my Twitter is @TropicalNHL. I'm gonna be responding to all of them. A couple of guys sent me their tier list in the latest video, and I've discussed with them, so it's really interesting to see everybody's opinion. So yeah, let's get right into it. So first one here is Ylönen. Ylönen came in midway of the season when all the injuries started to come in. When Cole Caulfield's season ended, when Slafkovský's season ended, when we had no info about Sean Monahan, Brendan Gallagher, and all of those guys. This is the moment when Ylönen, Harvey-Pinard, Belzile, and all of those guys came in. By the way, I did not include Belzile in that video because he played a couple of games in the past in the bubble, for example, for the Canadiens. So I didn't really regard him as a rookie anymore, but he could have been included in the tier list as well. But yeah, for Ylönen, since he came in mid-season, I think he did pretty good. He scored a couple of goals, got a decent amount of points. Before he got sent down to the AHL for the playoff push of the Lava Rocket, he had a pretty good point production. He was on pace for 40+ points in a full 82-game season. But since he's a little bit older than the other guys, I'm just going to place him at the B tier. He could be at the C tier as well, but I think that B tier is pretty fair for him. Like I said, he's a bit older, and in a couple of games, he was terrible. He lacked a little bit of consistency, but he developed well this year, and I think that he could battle for a spot next year for the Montreal Canadiens, definitely. Second guy on the tier list is also a guy that came in midway the season, started the season in Laval, was really good in Laval, and he translated his game really well in the NHL, and it's Justin Barron. Justin Barron right now has 14 points in 37 games. He's been really good, showing a lot of good things, both offensively and defensively. His decision-making improved a lot since he came back from Laval. And right now he has a pace of 35 to 40 points in the full season as a rookie defenseman. So that's really good. So you know what? For that reason, I'm going to place Ylönen at the C tier. I'm going to place Barron at the B tier because I feel like Barron's been a lot better than Ylönen. But I don't think that he deserves the A spot because of the other guys that are on the tier list. So I'm just going to place him at the B tier and we're going to reorganize it after if it doesn't work out. You know what? Juraj Slafkovský, I'm going to keep him for the end of the video. So all you Slovaks watching, keep watching till the end. Love y'all. So the next guy is Rafael Harvey-Pinard. We all know it. He performed really well since he came back from Laval. 14 goals, 19 points, been really good. He's been on pace for 35 goals. Just for comparison, in the entire season, Jonathan Huberdeau has 15 goals. Rafael Harvey-Pinard in 30 games has 14. So definitely Rafael Harvey-Pinard, even though he's a bit older, he's been showing a lot of good things. For that reason, obviously, I'm going to place him at the A tier. I think that he has the potential to be an amazing player in the NHL. And I feel like him playing on either the second or third line in the future or next year, he could easily score 20 to 30 goals in a regular season. So yeah, A tier for Harvey-Pinard, definitely works. The next guy on the tier list we have is Arber Xhekaj. And Arber Xhekaj has been the biggest surprise of the year for me personally. I mean, everybody was talking about the guy last year when he made a Memorial Cup, when he won the OHL with the Hamilton Bulldogs. Everybody was talking about him all summer long. For the people who were watching my videos last summer, you know that I was skeptical about Arber Xhekaj. But yeah, I got really surprised when I saw him play. I thought he was only a goon, but he knows how to play hockey, he has low-key skills, and he's going to be a really good top 4 defenseman for a long time for the Montreal Canadiens. For me, he's just a better version of Ben Chiarot, and Ben Chiarot was really good for the Montreal Canadiens. So for the goals he scored on the power play, for the amazing breakout pass he made, for the big hits, for the entertainment, for the fights, he flipped out cash-in like he was absolutely nothing. I'm going to be placing Arber Xhekaj at the S tier. Just because I was really surprised on how well he performed, I'm going to place him there over Harvey-Pinard. As Harvey-Pinard, I kind of knew that he was going to be that Gallagher type of player, that Jonathan Marchessault type of player, so I wasn't really surprised. I know a lot of people were, but me personally, I knew what he was capable of. Next guy on the list is Kaiden Guhle. I mean, Kaiden Guhle at first was seen as a shutdown defenseman. The Habs let him play an extra year in the WHL, and he developed an offensive game that we did not expect coming from him, and he's been really good for the Montreal Canadiens. He looks a bit like a more physical version of Michael Matheson. I think he's going to be a 50 to 60 point defenseman in his prime for the Montreal Canadiens, hitting hard and being an excellent two-way defenseman. If I could compare him to a player, that would probably be Zach Werenski for the Columbus Blue Jackets. He's been the most impressive rookie this year for the Montreal Canadiens. So since Arber Xhekaj is at the S tier, I'm going to have to place Kaiden Guhle in front of him at the S tier as well. Because I feel like Kaiden Guhle right now, other than Doc Suzuki and Caulfield, is the player that has the highest ceiling and the best potential all of them all. I think it's pretty fair to have him up there at the S tier. Next player is a guy that we don't really talk about a lot, but that's been really impressive for me, and that's Jonathan Kovacevic. Jonathan Kovacevic is the defenseman that played the most games for the Montreal Canadiens. He missed a couple of them, but that's when he was in healthy scratch. He's the only player other than Nick Suzuki that did not get injured for the entire season. So he's a really solid guy. He's big. We claimed him off of waivers from the Winnipeg Jets, and he's been really efficient. He's one of the only defensemen that is above 0 in the plus minuses, and he's also the guy that played the most games. So for me, Jonathan Kovacevic is not a guy that's going to get a ton of points, but as a shutdown defenseman playing on the third pair, I think he would be a good fit long-term for the Montreal Canadiens. He impressed me a lot. I was not expecting much coming out of him. And for me, I'm going to place him at the B tier spot because, like, man, he's been really solid for the team. Yes, he made mistakes. Yes, he was not perfect all season long. But judging by the fact that we got him for free via waivers, and the fact that he was that solid on a bottom tier team just shows that he has the potential to be a third pairing defenseman in the future in a really good team. Next guy is Jordan Harris. I mean, for me, Jordan Harris is really solid. He's been really good. He's been improving. He improved his decision making and his offensive play a lot this season. Did not get that much injuries. He got injured towards the end of this season, and it's unlikely for him to come back this year. He signed a contract extension with the Montreal Canadiens as well, and he's been overall really solid. Not at the level of an A tier, but not at the level of a C tier either. I feel like he's been as solid as Kovacevic defensively, but a little bit better offensively. So I'm going to be placing him at the B tier, but at the top of it, in front of Justin Barron and Kovacevic. Yes, Justin Barron has been pulling out more points, but I feel like Jordan Harris has just been overall way more efficient in both sides of the play. Justin Barron is really good offensively, but he made a lot of mistakes defensively. So for that reason, I'm going to place Harris at the top of the B tier. So here it is, the last one of the tier list, Juraj Slafkovský. At first, I thought that Slafkovský was NHL ready. At the beginning of the season, I was just like, all right, this guy's NHL ready. He's big, he's strong, he's fast. He has everything he needs to be good in the National Hockey League. But I think that midway through the season, around Christmas, the Montreal Canadiens should have realized that he was not NHL ready. He is physically ready for the NHL, but his head was not ready for the NHL. So in my opinion, they should have sent him to the World Juniors play with Team Slovakia and maybe send him to the Area Otters, his team in the OHL. I think that would have been a great fit for him to go dominate in the OHL, dominate at the World Junior, and come back next year. It would have prevented him from getting injured as well, and he would have played a lot more hockey this year. And like the way he was playing, his head down, playing not as physical as we thought, it was kind of obvious that he was going to get injured at some point through the season. So for the mismanagement of how the Slafkovský situation was handled, and the fact that he wasn't really great in the games he played, he had some good flashes. We saw the first overall potential in him. He's going to be a really, really good player if he is used properly and if he's developed right. This year he hasn't showed anything, and I think that he was not ready for the NHL. It would have been best for him to go play in the World Juniors, dominate there. Maybe Team Slovakia would have won the tournament or even be in the final. He almost won against Canada, and Slafkovský was not there. So if you add up the Slafkovský to that team, they would have been one of the best teams in the tournament. After that, either playing in Laval or in the OHL would have benefited him a lot more, I think. And like I said, it would have prevented him from getting injured. For all of those reasons, I think I'll have to place Juraj Slafkovský at the D tier. Like, yes, Ylönen was more solid. All of those guys were more solid, and it wouldn't be fair to just place him there. So if I'm being honest, he is at the D tier. But like I said, don't get me wrong. It's not because I think he's a flop. It's not because I think he's not going to be good. He's going to be an excellent player, and I think that he has the potential to be a point-per-game player in his prime. But I just don't feel like the best scenario was for him to play an entire season in the NHL. I think that the Canadiens should have sent him to the World Juniors or with the area others in the OHL. So yeah, let me know what you guys all think about this in the comments below. It's been your boy Tropical NHL. Tell me what tier list should I do next. 150 likes and I'm going to do a part 3. Go ahead, leave a like, leave a comment, do anything as you want, and I'll see y'all for another video. Have a nice rest of your day, and bye-bye.